Christopher Almeida was living large, extended stays in swanky hotel rooms, head of his own private company, a family man, an all-around great guy, until November 2017 when some disturbing allegations came forward.
It was about 10 years ago. Nicolas Cage was at his prime, but I wasn't. I was in a bad place in my life. So I found comfort putting in my VHS version of Face Off. It made me feel better. It made me forget. Chris asked me to borrow it, and like I said, I was in a bad place, so I thought, if I do something nice for somebody, it'll make me feel better. That was the last time I ever saw it. He never gave it back.
I absolutely 100% deny these allegations against me. Look, I am very respectful of other people's media. I mean, I would never, I have a movie collection of my own. When somebody takes one, it's like a piece of me goes with them.
No, he's a monster. I know he's doing this to other people. Just tearing up VHS collections everywhere.
I don't know why Lisa would make up these stories. It's embarrassing for her.
It wasn't long before a second allegation was made.
Well, could I get a sip of water first? Thank you. About 10 years ago, I was the victim of something extremely heinous. I still find it incredibly difficult to talk about. I've suffered PTSD, a myriad of psychological issues just due to the trauma of the situation, and it is about 10 years ago. Chris Almeida, I lent him a VHS videotape, and he never returned it, and I know. Could I get it? Thank you. Just a minute, please. And I've really tried to forgive him as the perpetrator, and it's just one of those things I just don't ever think I'll ever be able to forgive him for.
Here's what's happened. Somebody makes an allegation, then other people jump on the bandwagon, okay? I'm a powerful figure around here. You want to take shots at the king? Come at me, bro.
That's when the floodgates opened.
I'm sorry the dryer in the background is making so much noise, but it's drying my clothes. I don't have any pants on. I planned on keeping this a secret my whole life. I was always afraid of how people would judge me and what they think of me. It was a stormy night when he came by to take this great gift from me, and I thought he would return it. And days went by, weeks went by, calls weren't responded to, emails. I desperately needed this thing back in my life. It was a special edition. Excuse me.
This all started back in '99. I thought this guy was my friend. He asked to borrow, and I let him borrow it. Kept asking for it back, and he wouldn't return it. And wouldn't return my phone calls, and he just treated me like I was dirt, like I was nothing.
Is this thing on? A little nervous here. 10 years ago, I let Christopher Almeida borrow a VHS copy of The Goonies. He was all nice at first, you know. We watched movies together. We would share movies back and forth, and he says, "Oh, you know, Jeff, just let me borrow your copies of Goonies on VHS. I promise, I'm gonna watch it this weekend, and I'll get it back to you." Well, I can't.
Okay, so I did some thinking. There might have been one or two times something comparable to what happened made it happen. Look, we all make mistakes. You know, I'm not a perfect guy. I'm sure you've made some mistakes.
Who we talking about? We talking about Chris? Oh yeah, where is he? Is he around here? Cause I owe him something. I owe him a piece of my motherfucking mind. And this isn't the first time I've lent him stuff. On plenty of occasions, I've lent Chris hundreds of thousands of dollars. And Chris pays me back. But this one time, it was different. It was different. Like, I let Chris use my next Friday VHS. I haven't seen, heard, spoke to him. I don't even know where Chris is right now. Where is Chris? Like, how am I supposed to watch the trilogy? I can't watch Friday, then skip to Friday after next. You ruined my life, Chris. Just want you to know this.
I always thought he was a nice guy. And so, you know, I didn't think it was a big deal to let him borrow my Speed movie with Keanu Reeves. And now it's 10 years later and I'm not the only one. And I feel I have a strength now. I want to put this guy away.
With so many people coming forward, law enforcement had no choice but to go after Christopher themselves. They followed him to this seemingly abandoned home where he had been apparently staying for many years. What they found inside was very disturbing. Thousands upon thousands of VHS tapes, many in various states of disrepair, were strewn throughout the home. It was disgusting. It was as if a madman lived there. Christopher wasn't found. Many believe he had escaped through a series of underground tunnels. He was found the next day on the 63rd floor in a private bathroom of his apartment building. He had apparently taken his own life by overdosing on prescription pills. With the right kind of ears, you can hear the world breathe a collective sigh of relief. His reign of terror had finally ended.
No, I'm not talking to anybody. You know why? Because every one of you has tried to discredit me, you Hollywood elitists. Do you know Chris Almeida? Do any of you truly know him? He does not return videotapes.